English with Class, the podcast that makes English exciting and life-changing. I'm Anna.
And I'm Jake. And today, we are talking about one of the biggest decisions most people will ever make in their entire lives.
Jake, quick personal question. Do you currently own your home or do you rent?
I rent. And honestly, I've gone back and forth on this question so many times. Some days I think I should buy, build equity, own something. And then I see the down payment required and I think, actually, renting is wonderful and I love my landlord.
The down payment reality check.
It hits different when you see the actual numbers.
I actually bought my apartment 2 years ago, and I will tell you it was the most exciting and most terrifying decision I have ever made. There were so many words I didn't fully understand. Mortgage, equity, appreciation, fixed costs.
And that is exactly why we're doing today's episode. Because whether you're buying, renting, or still deciding, you need to understand this topic in English. Deeply, confidently, clearly.
Today we are talking about buying versus renting a house, the real debate, the real vocabulary, and the real tips to help you think through one of life's biggest financial decisions.
Money people, English learners, future homeowners, happy renters, this one is for all of you. Let's go.
Okay, let's start with the big picture question. Is buying a house always better than renting? Because for a long time, the conventional wisdom was renting is throwing money away. Buying is always smarter. Is that still true?
Great question. And the honest answer is, it depends. It depends on where you live, what stage of life you're in, your financial situation, your career stability, and how long you plan to stay in one place.
Right. There is no universal right answer. Both buying and renting have genuine advantages, and both have real drawbacks. The key is understanding what those are so you can make the decision that's right for your life.
So let's break it down. The case for buying first. When you buy a house, you are building what's called equity, the portion of the home that you actually own. Every mortgage payment you make is partly paying interest to the bank, but also partly building your ownership stake in the property.
And if property values go up over time, which historically they often do, your home becomes worth more than what you paid for it. That's called appreciation. So your house becomes an asset, something that grows in value.
Also, once your mortgage is paid off, you own the home. No more payments, just yours. Completely.
But, and this is a big but buying comes with enormous upfront costs. Down payment, which can be 10 to 20% of the purchase price. Closing costs. Property taxes every year. Maintenance and repairs, which are entirely your responsibility as the owner.
A leaking roof when you rent? You call your landlord. A leaking roof when you own? You call a contractor and you pay for it yourself. Sometimes that's $5,000, sometimes more.
And now the case for renting. Renting gives you something incredibly valuable that buying cannot: flexibility. If your job changes, if you want to move to a new city, if your family situation changes, you are not locked in. When your lease ends, you can go.
Renting also means your monthly costs are predictable. You pay rent usually the same amount each month. You are not responsible for major repairs. If the water heater breaks, you call the landlord. Not your problem, not your bill.
And the money you didn't spend on a down payment? You could invest that. If you invest wisely, the returns on that investment might actually outperform the appreciation on a home depending on the market.
So the real question isn't which is better universally. The question is, which is better for me right now, in my specific situation?
And that's where our vocabulary and tips come in. Let's build the language first.
Vocabulary breakdown. 12 essential real estate and housing words in English.
Number 1, mortgage. A loan from a bank to buy a property. You borrow the money, you buy the house, and you pay back the loan plus interest over many years, usually 15 to 30 years. She took out a 30-year mortgage to buy her first home.
Number 2, down payment. The initial amount of money you pay up front when buying a house before the bank lends you the rest, usually 10 to 20% of the home's total price. He saved for 5 years to afford the down payment on his apartment.
Number 3, equity. The portion of your home's value that you truly own, the difference between what the house is worth and what you still owe on the mortgage. Every mortgage payment builds a little more equity in your home.
Number 4, appreciation. When a property increases in value over time, the house they bought for $200,000 10 years ago has appreciated to $350,000 today.
Number 5, depreciation. The opposite of appreciation when a property loses value over time. Homes in areas with declining populations can experience depreciation.
Number 6, landlord. The person or company that owns a rental property and rents it to others. My landlord is very responsive whenever something breaks. He fixes it within 24 hours.
Number 7, tenant. The person who rents and lives in a property owned by someone else. As a tenant, you have legal rights that protect you from unfair treatment by landlords.
Number 8, lease. A legal contract between a landlord and tenant that specifies the terms of the rental, how long, how much, and what the rules are. She signed a 12-month lease on her new apartment.
Number 9, property tax. A tax paid to the government based on the value of the property you own. Renters do not pay this directly, owners do. Property taxes can add thousands of dollars per year to the cost of owning a home.
Number 10, fixed costs. Expenses that stay the same every month, regardless of what happens. A fixed-rate mortgage is a fixed cost. Knowing your fixed costs helps you budget more accurately.
Number 11, flexibility. The ability to change your situation easily and quickly. Renting offers more flexibility than buying. She chose to rent because her job required flexibility to move between cities.
And number 12, net worth. The total value of everything you own minus everything you owe. Owning property can significantly increase your net worth over time. Buying a home is often one of the fastest ways to build net worth if the market works in your favour.
3 powerful tips before you make your buying or renting decision.
Tip number 1. Run the numbers for your city and your life. The buying versus renting decision looks completely different depending on where you live. In some cities, renting is dramatically cheaper than buying and investing. The difference makes much more financial sense. In other cities, buying is clearly better long-term.
There's actually a tool called the price-to-rent ratio. You take the purchase price of a home and divide it by the annual rent for a similar home. If the number is high above 20, renting is often smarter. If it's low below 15, buying usually makes more financial sense.
Don't make this decision based on emotion or what your parents told you. Run your numbers in your city for your situation. Numbers don't lie.
Tip number 2. Think about your 5-year plan before signing anything. Here is a crucial truth about buying a home. It only makes financial sense if you stay long enough. When you buy, there are huge upfront costs, down payment, closing costs, fees. It usually takes 5 to 7 years just to break even compared to renting.
So, before you buy, ask yourself honestly, will I still want to be in this city, in this neighbourhood, in this life, in 5 years? If the answer is yes, buying starts to make real sense. If the answer is, I'm not sure, renting preserves your options.
The English phrase here is, don't lock yourself in. A mortgage is a 15 to 30-year commitment. Make sure your life is ready for that level of commitment before you sign.
Tip number 3. Don't let anyone shame you for your choice. This is so important. There is a culture in many places, including Indonesia, where renting is seen as less successful than owning. People say, masih ngontrak, like it's something to be embarrassed about.
But financially and practically renting at the right time and investing your money wisely can actually build more wealth than buying at the wrong time in the wrong place. The smartest financial decision is the one that's right for your numbers and your life, not the one that impresses others.
In English, we say, don't keep up with the Joneses. It means don't make financial decisions just to appear successful or match what your neighbours or friends are doing. Make the decision that's actually right for you.
Here is your challenge for this week, and this one is genuinely useful for your real life.
Write 10 sentences in English about your current housing situation and your future housing goals. Use at least 6 vocabulary words from today's episode.
For example, I currently rent a small apartment and my landlord is very fair. My lease ends in 6 months. I am thinking about whether to renew or to start saving for a down payment. My long-term goal is to build equity and increase my net worth through property ownership, but I need to run the numbers first for my city.
That's a perfect example. Now write your version honest, personal, and in English. Post it in the comments below. We will read every single one, and we might even give you some financial English feedback.
Here's something I want you to hold on to after today. The biggest financial decisions in life: buying a home, investing, negotiating your salary. These are not just for people who speak English as a first language. They are not just for people who went to business school. They are for you.
And the fact that you just spent 10 minutes learning this vocabulary in English means you are already more prepared than most people to make smart, informed decisions about your future.
Whether you buy or rent, make the decision with knowledge, with confidence, and with the English vocabulary to understand exactly what you're signing.
Your future home, whatever it looks like, is waiting for you. And now you have a few more tools to get there wisely.
Bye everyone, keep learning, keep growing, and keep smiling every single beautiful day.
You got this. See you next time on Juragan English Channel.